Hello, 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 hello. So this is Blender 2.91 Alpha, and it's near the end of September, like the 19th or 20th or 20, I don't know, one of those numbers. It's 2020, so nobody knows what day it is. Anyway, right, so we can draw on a object, a primitive, via its normal, which is quite cool. Which is a thing that other apps have had for a while, and I'll reference the other apps in a minute. So where is it and how do I do it? So in the interface we have a let me just sort of stop there, but we're looking at this one which says add cube. So we'll click on add cube and we'll go and add a cube, shall we? So let's click and drag, and there we go, there's a cube. Yay! It says 2 meters. I don't think it is 2 meters, but maybe it is. I think that's probably the wrong size. How big is this? It says it's 1.8. Don't think that's 2 meters then. So it's probably the sizing is probably wrong. Oh, I've made another one by accident. Click off, delete. We'll get rid of that. Press the N key. Yeah, okay. So click on the normal, drag another one out. There we go, and then we can sort of. Says me trying to work out what to do. We can click along here, and looks pretty useful, doesn't it? You know, very cool. And then on a more slanted version, like on here, we can click and drag and move that out. And that's on the normal, so that's quite nice. And we can like do down here, click and drag there, and do that. So yeah, that's all cool. So the only sort of, it is alpha version, so I'll let it off. But if you want to change the size of it, I mean, that's just not right. it's got 2 different dimensions. I mean, it is square here, but that's not square, and you know we can't change that here. So as for a interactive primitive that you're creating, you could do better than that. But it is alpha, so I'll let you off. And it seems to do it from the center as well. If I change the size of it. So this is probably the correct size here, but that's nothing to do with this. I mean, I don't know what that dimension is because you don't get that option here. And you're not adding a cube either. It's not cube shape, is it? That's an oblong box shape. It's like a shoe box for some clown somewhere with small feet. Right. So yeah, pretty cool. Let's change this though, because you might be thinking, as good as that is, maybe I don't want to make a cube. Maybe I want a different primitive. How the heck do I do that? Well, you'll notice on the interface, you've got these little tiny ticks down here. And if we click off this, just to go select box, there's a little tiny tick on this one as well, which means if you click on it and hold your left-hand mouse down, you get options for override. No, you get options to change. So we can change it to a cone, for instance. And we'll go here and we'll add a cone on here. And whoop, that's all cool. And we get to change how many segments it is. From, you know, it's a, get it to be 4, be good, wouldn't it? What's that here? No, that's not it. I want 4, Stephen. There you go. It's a pyramid, a very small one. It's not sat on the ground though, is it, for some reason? So let's try this again. Yeah, that's actually not sitting on the ground. Let me change the amount of segments, see if that's got anything to do with it. So click on here. It seems to be drawing on it, doesn't it? And then click off it again. And that's actually not drawing it on the surface. But it is a an alpha. Sorry, my brain's sort of like sozzled. There we go. Try this. Click on that. How's that looking? So that's drawn on the surface quite well. It's not circular. And there's no way to make it circular because it's however you drew it, that's how it is. You can change the segments, which is quite cool, but again, when I change the depth of it, it does it from the center, so that's a bit annoying. I'd like it to do it from where you drew it. And then down here we go to a UV sphere, and we'll draw one here. We'll try and make it circular looking, look. And then maybe there. How's that looking? Nope, that's not a circular one. Let's try another one. So there's a circle, and then if we try that, how's that looking? No, that's another egg. Okay, so we do get to change the amount of sides and the amount of rings on it, but the actual size of it is just the radius, not the height of it. We can't change the height, so we can't make it spherical. So it's not really a sphere, is it? But I'll let you off. And the other one, it says adds. Oh, it says add icosphere. It does say icosphere. Oh, okay. Didn't think it did. Right. So the other one says icosphere, and we'll click on that, and we'll bring that out. Sort of. We'll try that. No, that's not looking right either. Let's try another one. How's that looking? That's more icosphere looking thing, isn't it? And you get to say how many subdivisions, and you know, hey, there we go. And you get to change the overall size. So it's pretty cool. Let's see what it's trying to copy though. So when we're over in boing, 3ds Max, it's trying to copy, or it's taking it's having a homage to AutoGrid in Studio Max. So we will go and select another object. We'll say box, and a little tick mark here that says AutoGrid. This is same idea. So I can click and drag this and drag that up, and click and drag that out, and click and drag that guy and drag that out. So the interesting thing is, keyboard shortcuts are different. If I want to change something, I want to change the height of this particular object. If I go to modify and I change the height of it, it doesn't move from the center, it moves it from the ground that I drew it up from. So that would be a good thing to see in Blender 2.91 Alpha. And maybe change the primitive name from cube to box, because you might want to build something completely different. You want to do that. And same with this guy here. If I go to the modifier, I can change its height. So you're not dropping it either. Excuse me, coughing. Yeah, and same with if I make something else like a cylinder. Yeah, and I change its height on here. I can do that as well, the radius and whatever. If I drew let's do just do a sphere and show you what a sphere should be like. So if I draw a sphere on here, it does draw it from the center, but it is spherical, so that's actually quite useful. And when I do change the sides on it, I don't get the U and V on it, I just get how many segments do you want it to be, and the U and V change together. He says click on that, and you can put it on its end. Yeah, so that's an object like that. Yeah, so pretty cool. For an alpha, that's quite good. And yeah, so if they're going to have two things to change as you're drawing it, you should get the option to amend those two changes as you're building it. You know, otherwise, what's the point of this if you can't really change anything? That needs to be fixed or attended to. The pyramids don't seem to work properly at the minute, but it is an alpha, so I will let them off. And the other thing would be, if you're drawing it out from the surface, I think when you change the height of the box that you make, rename it to box rather than cube, it would be more useful. When you change the height of it, it's based on where you draw it from, not from the center or origin point. That's just being lazy. So if you do that, that'll be cool. And that concludes my video, and hopefully it's cool. Right, see you in a bit.